My recent election is a mandate to completely and totally reverse a horrible betrayal and all of these many betrayals that have taken place, and to give the people back their faith, their wealth, their democracy, and indeed their freedom. From this moment on, America's decline is over. Our liberties and our nation's glorious destiny will no longer be denied, and we will immediately restore the integrity, competency, and loyalty of America's government. Over the past 8 years, I have been tested and challenged more than any president in our 250-year history, and I've learned a lot along the way. The journey to reclaim our republic has not been an easy one, that I can tell you. Those who wish to stop our cause have tried to take my freedom and indeed to take my life. Just a few months ago in a beautiful Pennsylvania field, an assassin's bullet ripped through my ear. But I felt then, and believe even more so now, that my life was saved for a reason. I was saved by God to make America great again. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All man a place over day. All man a place over day. Fellow liberators of our land, fellow defenders of freedom, human rights, and human dignity. My fellow papa them and wa mami them. Wa Ambazonian picking them. Wa fellow brothers and sisters. I just finished an interview with Jeune Afrique. No people for the history of the world, they don't do witty. You, the Ambazonian people, we, the Ambazonian people, no people for the 21st century. They don't do it, we don't do it for the last 9 years. No people, they don't ever rise up for fight this kind of repression, occupation, and colonialism. For the style, for the kind strategies where we create them, we implement them. No people don't ever do them. We be the first people for create a new model of how a liberation war they fit conduct them using social media. We be the first people. Waiting you, waiting we, the Ambazonian people, waiting we don't achieve them, no other people don't ever achieve them before. for confront this kind system, for the way we don't confront them, for weaken this kind system, the way we don't weaken them, for choke this kind occupation system, the way we don't choke them. We don't hold La Republic not be only for canas. We don't tie their throat. We don't put them for rope, for commit suicide. La Republic not fit survive. Now, it's I need for know. The occupation system not fit survive. We don't obliterate them. We don't twist them. Knock them. Jam them. Scatter them. When I remember scatterization, La Republic not fit survive. Over the last 2 days, we collectively, we don't come together again. We don't stand together again. Using peaceful, civil protest for crumble the occupier, for crumble the enemy. This collective sacrifice, this collective protest, this collective defiance, this collective rejection of Cameroon occupation, this collective demonstration of the will of the Ambazonian people. Now a collective demonstration of our will for be a free people, of our aspirations for be a free people, of our determination for be a free people, of our commitment for be a free people. You just finish for watch President Donald Trump for tell you own story, your own journey. They tried for assassinate it 3 times. They tried for bankruptcy. They launch all kinds of lawsuits, court cases. This man, na a testament of what he mean for belief for something, for get conviction. Maybe you don't like it. You don't need for like it. But maybe you feel learn 1 or 2 things from him about what he take him, what it takes to become successful. For something you believe in. And how for succeed for something. Even when you face those kind obstacles, where an entire system be against you. One human being will be totally anchored, be more powerful than 10 million people. Then. The Ambazonia liberation struggle be anchored on international law. It be anchored on international law. You get the right for be a free people. For Article 1 of the United Nations. We talk about economic, civil, and political rights. The Article 1, every people or all peoples, they get a right for self-determination. We no need for live under Cameroon occupation. Now, which right Paul Biya get and for govern you? Now, which right? You tell me. Now, which right Paul Biya get and for govern you? And why you get for govern you? Why you not fit govern yourself? Why not the colonial assembly get for the make laws for you? Now we don't leave them. These people, they take advantage of our weaknesses because we be so tolerant. They take advantage of our own weaknesses because they take advantage of our peaceful nature. It don't come to an end. Now we take our rights back. Is there a price to eat? Is there a price to eat? Yes. Is there a cost to eat? Yes. None of it for this will not be free. Even when woman want born picking, the woman get for go through 9 months for carry that belly, carry that picking for belly. All the hormonal changes, all everything for that woman is skin get for change. It be uncomfortable process. But the expectation, the joy of having a child, the woman will bear all the pain. You don't ever see a woman when they give birth? You don't ever see the labor process? Go ask any girl, any woman, any mommy. It's a very painful process. The joy that they go through those processes, woman them, mommy, they go through those processes because there is a joy. Creating a miracle, giving birth to life. They be ready, they be willing for go through that price over and over and over and over and over and over again. That's why me and you today will get life, because mommy they be paid that price. You get for pay a price for be free. As a student, you get for pay the price of going to school. You get for pay the price of studying. Any person whether you learn a work or you want to do a business, there is a price with the pay. Not you not be free. Mr. Trump pay a price. He almost lead to his own death. They almost assassinate him. For he for succeed. For be the second person in the history of the United Nations. For some person for win election. And then he go for one term. And then other people they govern in between. And then he come back. Can't win the election. He be the second person in the history of the United States. Today not been about Trump. Now about you, the people of Ground Zero. About you, the people of Manfe. The people of Manu. The people of Meme. And we want thank our people them for Kumba. We want thank the K-Towners. We want thank our people them for Boya. The people of Kuva Likenye. We want thank Una. We want thank the people of Victoria. We want thank the people for all the towns, the cities, villages, and communities across Ambazonia. Una place day, una cafe day up. Una don't show La Republique say we will, as a people, collectively, will be ready for pay the price for be free. It no go come easy. This lockdown na a collective effort for collective demonstration of our collective will, of our collective resistance. Yaoundé the cry. All the CPDM elites, including the one with the Senate for United Nations, say be the president of the General Assembly for 2024 to 2025. It don't come back for Bamenda. It don't come join the gang of criminals then for be the chairperson for CPDM campaign for the Northwest region, as they call them. All them they cry because you don't take your power back. You don't deny them that power to govern you. This fight, now a fight between tyranny, genocide, terrorism, scorched earth policy, human rights abuses, the burning downs of communities versus freedom, versus progress, versus prosperity, versus happiness, versus human dignity. This fight now a fight between evil and Satan and the glory of God. This fight now a fight between health, abundance, prosperity, where Ambazonia go offer them for you, or the poverty, the dehumanization, the degradation, the shame, the harassment, the torture, the imprisonment, the poverty, and the misery where the Republic don't impose them for you. That's why we make these sacrifices collectively. As I put them for Twitter today, the collective sacrifices, who would make them? It will produce collective victory, collective freedom. You want to make your own picking them, may they can't govern you. You want to make your own people them, where they don't go through this pain, torture, suffering, imprisonment. May they can make all we create a system we go benefit all we for elevate our people them, for treat our people them better, for get a different kind of police, for get different kinds of laws. We are human laws. We get for elevate ourselves. Now the prices we get for paying collectively. Only through lockdown, if we hold the line, if we maintain the resistance, and we deny the occupier and CPDM colonial beneficiaries, we fit deny them the legitimacy. We fit deny them. Only through this lockdown, the Ambazonian people, if we break the spine of Cameroon until Cameroon implode, only through this lockdown, if we maintain this lockdown, if we hold tight and we sacrifice just a little bit, Cameroon go crack. Atanganji go commit suicide. Diongute go commit suicide. The Regina Mundi they go start for commit suicide. We fit defeat Cameroon without losing one Ambazonian soldier. And in the coming weeks, we get for start for prepare for impose a higher cost on Cameroon by imposing an economic embargo on Cameroon. we need to take this thing one step further, using non-violent means, coupled with the self-defense and armed resistance. But through these peaceful methods, we will go impose an economic embargo on Cameroon. We will impose a food embargo on Cameroon. Within 2 weeks, Mr. Biago commit to a negotiated settlement. Within 2 weeks, we get for impose a higher cost on Cameroon. It be up to we. Not wait for the international community. We fit crack Cameroon. As we don't start, make we hold the line. As the leader tell we. Make we hold the line. Make we punish these people then. Now only few weeks of sacrifice. We go be free. We call on the Ambazonian people then. As we don't start, make we not stop. As we don't start, make we not stop. All the segments of our population, every person must join in. The taxi drivers, they must join in. The motorbike riders, they must join in. What sellers them, what buy and sellers them, what business people them, everybody must join in for the greater good of Ambazonia, for the future of Ambazonia. We know say they threaten what traders. We know say they threaten what taxi drivers. We know say they threaten what bike riders. When I hold the line, they not get no other choice. It be up to the government of Cameroon for commit to an internationally supervised negotiated settlement for bring this conflict to an end, or we go teach them who will be as Ambazonia, as Ambazonians. The more they delay, the more Cameroon crumbles. And if we hold the line, if we persist, if we insist, and we persevere, Cameroon go crack, and fight go start for that side. This regime, the Ambazonian people will bring them down and gain our independence, even only through peaceful means. So as we don't start with the lockdown and the colonial boycotts, we appeal and call on all our people them for hold the line. Just persevere a little bit more. Not be for me, not be for Dr. Cho, not be for Sise Kwayoktabe Julius, not be for Mancho BBC. You did do them not for your own freedom, not for your own future, and not for the future of your own picking them. You did do them not for save your own life. That's why all we get for sacrifice. But they did quite the sacrifice. Sise the sacrifice. Mancho the sacrifice. The forces on the ground that they sacrifice. Hold the line. La Republic will crack. All money place there. We thank you plenty for our commitment and for our dedication and for this unity. Hold the line as the leader talk. We'll be proud of Una. We'll be proud of our people them. We'll be proud of our courage and this victory. Now we are own collectively. All money place there. We love Una plenty.
Yes, sir. Stand back, Zipam. My back, prepare. My back. Ah, mamma mia, go with the motor. Go with the motor. Go with the motor. Ah, mamma mia. See them. Yes, sir. Stand back, Zipam. Shoot my back, prepare. You shoot my back.
I see you, pa.
Ha, mamma mia, go with the motor. Go with the motor. Go with the motor. Ha, mamma mia. See them motor.
Yeah, but it's something that is very important. I'll bring it to the Executive Council.
Oh, so you're not there. So there's no corporate.
Chief, Cameroonians are watching you online, yeah, and they're asking whether the situation of southern Cameroon.
Oh, it's extremely very, very bad now. It's a genocide indeed. In my own home, imagine they send soldiers to the chief's palace, destroy a lot of things, and more than 130 towns in the southern Cameroon destroyed. It's a genocide, like civilians killed. I mean, it's unprecedented. It's a genocide happening in the southern Cameroon and the Gulf of Guinea. We are very, very embarrassed that the United Nations has not acted forcefully. Of course, African Union is totally silent. But whatever the case, the people are fighting on. They are defending themselves. And I think right now, the entire territory is locked down. The elections, the president organized elections, and the people of the Southern Cameroon said the election will not take place in the territory. It is a matter of international law. It's a matter of people's right to exist. And I do not see exactly how there can be a military solution to that. In the first place, the military solution, apart from the crimes committed, I don't think they will win. One of the remarkable things about the Southern Cameroon case is this. The Rohingyas jurisprudence that was given just a few weeks ago, where Myanmar from Burma deported thousands of refugees to Bangladesh, is going to apply here, because Cameroon deported hundreds of thousands of Southern Cameroon refugees to Nigeria from their ancestral home. They signed an order. They crossed the border and killed some. They went to Nigeria and adopted leaders of the Southern Cameroons in a hotel with the complete Nigerian soldiers. Nigeria is a state party to the Rome Statute. And according to the Rohingyas jurisprudence, if you commit the crimes which fall under the jurisdiction of the ICC in a state party, then the ICC has the jurisprudence to intervene. Indeed, ICC has a criminal examination in Nigeria since 2010, and therefore they can appropriately look into these crimes. I can tell you, unfortunately, it's a genocide. The international community must do something now. The disgrace, what I've seen in other situations, where they wait and people are killed, and they use the conflict as a way of employing international civil servants to come and talk about justice, will no longer apply. We must give value to human life. The international community must intervene. Yeah.
We must be here.
Be honest to ourselves. A lot has been done. That is why the president sent me to come here, to tell you that it is time. It is time that we regain our territory. We regain our independence, we regain our normalcy, our dignity. Be honest to ourselves. A lot has been done. That is why the president sent me to come here, to tell you that it is time. It is time that we regain our territory. We regain our independence, we regain our normalcy, our dignity.
I've heard people say that, oh, they're going to create a refinery in Libya. It's not true. Technically, it's not possible. 80% of the fuel that will be refined in Sonara, because now Sonara before, it was built by Total, a French concern. And Total built it in such a way that Sonara was importing sweet crude from Nigeria and refining. Sonara could not refine a liter of Cameroonian crude. You all know that. But this time they are going to reduce Sonara in such a way that the primary objective will be to refine Cameroonian crude. And anybody who tells you that it's going to be done in Kribi is lying, because 80% of the crude comes from the backwaters of Ako and Tian. The transport cost will be enormous if you have to take it to Kribi. So So technically, it is not possible. But you have people who are distorting things and giving you the impression that, oh, Sonora is finished, it's only in Kribi that they will make a crude. It is not true. I've heard people say that.
Quand il faut faire la formation militaire, Paul Biya va aller prendre les enfants du nord de 13 ans et 14 ans, les habiller, écrit sur eux que c'est le Grand Nord. Quand il y a la formation militaire, les enfants qui sont au premier rang, ce sont les enfants des boulous. Je demande à tous les mamans Bamileke et les mamans nordistes là, n'envoyez plus vos enfants dans l'armée camerounaise. On va aller les tuer, on va tuer vos enfants pour rien, cadeau. Parce que comme tu envoies ton enfant chez les Birois là, sache que comme tu n'as personne, ce n'est pas Ngongo qui est ton petit frère, ce n'est pas Laurent Esso qui est ton frère. Quand il y aura la guerre à Bamenda, quand il y aura la guerre au nord, quand il y aura la guerre n'importe où à Yokadouma, quand il y aura la guerre en Irak, c'est ton enfant qui va être le premier sacrifice. Tu as compris? N'envoyez plus vos enfants dans l'armée camerounaise là. Tous les mamans là. Ils prennent les petits tout pourris là. Ils vont écrire sur le Grand Nord pour confisquer le pouvoir. Le Grand Nord n'est jamais avec vous. Nous on n'est jamais avec vous. Laissez notre pays. Paul Biya dit Laurent Esso. Envoyez vos enfants aller faire la formation militaire. Vous les filmez, on va les voir. Jean de Dieu Momo. Je veux voir ton enfant en train de faire la formation militaire avec l'enfant d'Atandji. Je veux voir Franck bien porter la tenue militaire qui court aussi, qui porte les bagages là. Je veux voir Brenda faire la formation militaire. Ce ne sont pas les enfants des chiots, des chiens, qui vont aller seulement faire la formation là-bas. Appelez Laurent Esso, appelez Atandji, appelez Ngorongo. Appelez tous les gens de Dieu Momo là. Les gens Emmanuel Kouate. D'envoyer un enfant dans l'armée camerounaise. S'ils sont capables, s'ils peuvent le faire. Ils ne vont pas faire. Vous aviez vu l'enfant d'Atandji faire la formation militaire. Appelez tous ces ministres-là. Les Laurent Esso, les Ngongo, les gens de Dieu Momo, les ministres de Bataza Patazo là, les policiers de Bataza. Appelez l'enfant de Martin Bargangele de venir faire le concours de la police. Si l'enfant là aussi va faire. Appelez tous ces ministres, tous ceux qui nous ont pris d'un pays plié, torturé, maltraité, volé, plié l'argent des Camerounais là. Demandez à ces ministres d'envoyer leurs enfants là aussi dans l'armée. S'ils vont venir. Vous croyez que nous on ne vous connaît pas? Moi je vous connais. Moi je vous connais. Moi Tamo je vous connais. Je vous connais.
No profit in chaos. Absolutely no profit in chaos. Bamenda people, I speak to you now from the Unity Palace that these elections, we will go in as one man, come out victoriously as one people, and all the developmental projects that our head of state have.
Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to all of you. I just want to tell you something about this so-called mayor of Bamenda City Council, is it Urban Council, whatever they call it, Paul Achobang. Paul Achobang is a guy in the late 90s and early 2000s. We used to hold SYL meetings, but in their house. SYL is the Southern Cameroon's Youth League. We used to hold their meetings, but in their house. Before 20th May and before 11th of February, We will congregate in their house, trying to make sure that we derive means of stopping the 20th of May and 11th of February. These are we considered to be the days that we were made slaves, and the day that the final nail was nailed on our head as perpetual slaves. That was the 20th of May. We will be holding meetings in the house at the Meta Quarter. And I do remember I will spend most of my days when I'm doing nothing with him in his small office he had in Big Man Conde towards PCC, towards the school called PCC, Mubang. We'll be talking SCNC. We'll castigate Paul Biya. We'll call Paul Biya all type of names. We'll be talking about the dilapidation of the country, the stagnation of Ambazonia. We'll be crying over what Ambazonia had before this unholy federation with this La République du Cameroon people. We'll be so dejected. We felt dehumanized, used, molested by the system. And then we'll eat our achombo beside one woman who was making achombo beside his office. He was running, I think that was consulting something, or what was it, contractor something that he was running there. If you hear me often the time I called Paul Biya the vampire, that is an adjective that I got from him, from this Paul Achobang. I got from him. What names did we not call Paul Biya? So when I listen to this guy, sometimes I don't know if it is the same person I used to know or what. Then when I look at Nigel Frunze and I compare the two of them, I begin now to understand that some people shout Ambazonia or Southern Cameroons when they are hungry. And when there is a loaf of bread, they forget they ever uttered such a word. This is the same person we spent our time waiting for guns to come so that we can go out in a defensive mode. Today is it the mayor of Bamenda Council, is it Oban Council, whatsoever. And he's talking from both sides of his mouth. I can't believe this. His brother, Eric, may his soul rest in peace, will be turning in his grave, seeing what this guy had become. A traitor in the first order. Look at him gathering young guys who are supposed maybe to be working in some industries or companies in a free Ambazonia, or who would have maybe had some better education in a country that has a full name called a country. Now bike riders, maybe most of them are from the 11th province, or he went and gathered them from Bunda or somewhere, and they are pim, excited behind him. And they're forgetting that he's being guarded by bees. After this, he will get into his car, escorted by the same bees to wherever he now resides. And you all morons along the street will ride your bikes home with no guards. Who is deceiving who? Because this guy is doing this for his stomach. Because this is a guy who who can stand for nothing. If I remember the pains we used to feel, the type of dreams we used to have for a free Ambazonia, and how much we eager to make sure that we set this country free, and I see him today shouting like Paul Biya is the best thing that has ever happened to him. I feel sorry for all of you running behind him, because he is doing that for his bread. It is not because of you. He is telling me, in other words, that because where I am, I'm fine. I can buy anything I want. I can do anything I want. I'm not poor. I eat 3 square meals. I can drink anything I want. But just because I can drink and eat anything I want, it doesn't mean the situation I left back home has been solved. It doesn't mean the same boys and girls that we used to meet in their house, struggling to make sure that we stamped 20th May and 11th of February out of Ambazonia, are feeling the same joy that, I'm able to eat 3 square meals that I am eating today. Because I'm eating 3 square meals, it doesn't mean I have to forget those guys who cannot afford it.
Ambazonia valiant freedom fighters, you have risen to reclaim back your sovereignty, your independence, stolen both by international conspiracy, La République du Cameroon, and even people among us. We have had enough. We have had enough, and we have said enough is enough. There is no turning back. Minutes ago, I have sent a message to Paul Biya, his administrators, his governors, ministers, and some of our colonial administrators working for Paul Biya. I have told them it's time they leave Ambazonia. Paul Biya was the one during his visit in Buea. He said Buea was the capital of the former British Southern Cameroons. And so you have reason to get it back. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate all of you Ambazonia freedom fighters for the marvelous job you're doing, working night and day, strategizing to free your motherland. Your fatherland will be liberated. I have told you many times, you are the gold of Ambazonia. Forward ever, backward never. I want to congratulate all of you from all corners of Ambazonia, but particularly the Unity Warriors, Father of the Nation. I want to say bravo. Congratulations. You carry Ambazonia on your back. This is how we were supposed to fight. Collaboration between the Northern Zone freedom fighters and those in the Southern Zone, the Atlantic State and the Savannah State. This is exactly how we were supposed to collaborate. The Unity Warriors, I'm happy you spread your wings over to the Southern Zone. And I want to thank those in the Southern Zone. Asawana, you've done it. Work together. So when I saw the way you guys, it was wonderful. The way you took down La République soldiers. Like I told terrorist Biya, it was a carnage, real carnage. The explosion was really terrible, and they have carried their deaths. 7 in number, some will still die maybe in the process. My advice to you this moment, at this point in time, especially to those, the unity warriors between Boya and Kumba, after this attack, they will be trying to make a comeback. And they will not make a comeback without the enablers and the traitors amongst us. This message also goes to all Ambazonians, especially those who call themselves proud blacklegs. I want to invite all of you to a search of conscience. Ask yourself, which people on earth will go through what we have gone through, and you will still have some people among them working for the same people who are killing their own people. Please, let the betrayal, let the blacklegism, let the job of being a traitor cease to be among us. Remember, a time is coming. If you don't stop, a time is coming when there will be accountability. Where will you stay? Where will you stay? Your motherland is your motherland. Father of the nation, I'm extending a hand of understanding between all of you and Ambazonians. All of us, the nationalists. I am extending a hand to all of them, appealing to all of you. You don't have two motherlands. You don't have two countries. You can only have two countries by applying to become one in the other country. But then your spirit will always hover in the air. You want to always go back to your motherland. Your children, if you never would want to go, your children someday, they want to trace their roots. When that time will come, they will come. What will happen to them? Ask yourself, with the work you have done, what do you think will happen if you don't stop? Remember, the enemy cannot be this strong without accomplices from among being people who are being oppressed. La Republic wouldn't have done all what it has done to us without us, people among us, enabling it, helping them from within, taking them into the bushes like it has happened now. You will see, certainly, if I am not appealing to you, I hope you will understand that we all have one fatherland. Ambazonia is that homeland we're fighting to get back. And so all Ambazonia freedom fighters, everywhere you are, be on the alert. Ambazonia civilians on the ground, your freedom fighters, I call them gold. That is the only thing we have. That's the only thing we got. They are the present day Jesuses we have. Those who will free you, who will liberate you from the bondage we have been in from generation to generation. Forward ever, backward never. Ambazonians, replenish them. Replenish them. If you have Ambazonians both in the diaspora and on the ground, on ground zero, these are your children. Feed them, clothe them, provide them. They will free you. This is Father of the Nation talking. They will free you. Unity warriors. Allez, allez. Forward, forward. We shall win. It has always been your style. When I saw the way you racketed them, you scattered them, I knew it must be the Unity warriors, because the style of Unity warriors, their own style of fighting is different. Proud of you. Harvested. Continue. Independence must mean independence. People, refugees all over Nigeria, Ghana, and many other places. Those dying in the seas, in the rivers, in the deserts, we shall bring them back. The Neraten, our people all in La Republic, Abdul Karim and so on, Comrade Choluka Sayaba, in Norway, they will come home. We shall free them. Do not think that if we lose, we'll be blaming Sisiko Ayutabe, blaming Ayaba, blaming these people. They're already in jail. They're looking up to us to free them. And so we shall do the needful until we get Ambazonia. We get to our capital in Boya. Host our flag, sing our anthem, open our seaports, open our airports, come in, stay in our motherland, proud of who we are. Let me not say it much. Once again, congrats. You've done it. The bones of your forefathers are now turning in their graves in happiness that their children are reclaiming back the land they lost to La République du Cameroon. 6.
Yes, sir. Stand back, Zipam. Push my back, prepare. Push my back. No, not capacity to the back. I see you, pa. Ha, mama me, go with the moto, eh. Go with the moto. Go with the moto. Ha, mama me, eh. C'est le moto, le moto, il là.
Un moto de terrain parce que tu n'as pas l'argent. Tu pas même le crédit. Tu ne connais pas ce que tu as fait avec. Mais tu marches au quartier avec les genoux. Commando. Et l'arme bi. Je dis à ma classe, je suis exempt à tout geste commando. Si tu assembles avec quoi et que tu vas engager un geste qui ressemble au commando, je te fuis. Je disparais. Les commandos meurent pour rien. On ne gagne rien. Les vrais commandos sont les gens qui font les milliards. Et imagine qu'à 10 ans de service, tu n'as pas un morceau de terrain et tu vois un militaire qui vous invite parce qu'il fait les milliards. Voilà un vrai commando là-bas. Vos commandos que vous jouez à la même de terre, la charte 1, la charte, ils ont les noms, à la main, là, il y a un groupe de commandos, le bas fisco est, le bêta, le commando. Tu gagnes quoi? Tu gagnes quoi dans ça? Tu gagnes quoi dans ça? Les vrais commandos sont les militaires qui font les milliards. 10 ans de service, même pas un morceau de terrain parce que tu n'as pas l'argent. Tu pas même le crédit. Tu ne connais pas ce que tu as fait avec. Mais tu marches au quartier avec les genoux. Commando. Et l'arme bi.
Yes, sir. Stand back, Zipam. Push my back, prepare. Push my back. No, not capacity to the back. I see you, pa. Ha, mama me, go with the moto, eh. Go with the moto. Go with the moto. Ha, mama me, eh. See the motor.
So that is how positions harden because of the way people were killed, the way people were arrested. That is how positions harden to now we have a separatist move. But the government still had an opportunity to find a solution. It was still easy for them to at least try to address the problem. But at no point in time have they attempted in finding a solution to the crisis. When they released us on the 31st of August, it was a golden opportunity to release all those who were detained. But they choose to release 3 of myself, Justice Aya, who used to be a sitting Supreme Court justice, was arrested and detained for 7 months without any trial. But they released some of us and left the others in jail. So all this hardened position in such a way that if you talk to the average person in Anglophone Cameroon, separation it's now en vogue. You know, now the majority of the people would not settle for anything less than separation. The majority of the people now are asking for a referendum for them to determine their fate. But we still believe that something can still be done. Notwithstanding the situation, we can at least have a dialogue. We can at least have a negotiated settlement. You know, the diaspora living in Canada also would have a role to play, you know, because they are very influential. They have the money, they have a voice, that we can involve them also in trying to see how we can find a holistic solution. So the problem cannot just be solved internally without including the diaspora. I'll give you an example. Cameroon has a way of blacklisting Cameroonians by birth who are out of the country. Yes, some of them might have a dual nationality, but we have Cameroonians who have arrived at the airport with a visa and they were sent back because they encourage descent abroad. we cannot solve the problems in Cameroon without addressing the issue of the diaspora. We need to find a way that we would grant amnesty or clemency to those who are living abroad, who have not been convicted, but who are in a blacklist by the government, meaning that there are people who have parents in Cameroon, their parents die, they cannot come to Cameroon for fear of being arrested. So if these people cannot come to Cameroon as we know, they would rather prefer to come to Cameroon, which is Ambazonia. So we believe that the government of Canada can do a lot in trying to create an enabling environment, in putting pressure on the government to call for a dialogue, and at best ask the people of Cameroon, ask the government to organize a referendum.
Yes, and thank you very much. Unfortunately,
you see, all what we are currently commenting, analyzing, condemning in the strongest terms has a genesis. And Mr. Leo, we've got to tell ourselves the truth, looking at each other on the face. Mr. Leo, it is a historical fact that the liars-in-chief of this government have been lying to Cameroonians, especially the elites of the Northwest and Southwest region. Until when His Excellency the President of the Republic made a declaration in France and said there was an assimilation agenda by the government of Cameroon to assimilate Southern Cameroonians in this God-so-blessed country. Mr. Leo, it is a historical fact that this God-so-blessed country had 2 stars on its flag. That simply meant 2 people came together to build this great nation. Each time, Mr. Leo, I watch at the pictures that were taken in Fumban, the banner reads, "How pleasant it is for brethren to dwell or come together." Today we are seeing Cameroonians killing each other simply because there was an agenda for assimilation. And ever since the head of state of this great country made that pronouncement, Mr. Leo, we have not had commentaries or even apologies from our elites that have been lying to us that everything is okay, there was no assimilation agenda, there was no marginalization. My co-panelist on the right made mention a while ago. We started with rubber gun. It went on to Dane guns. We have now had sophisticated equipment.
I was not part of that process.
How did we get here? Is a question you've asked me. We have gotten here because of greed. We have gotten here because of egocentrism. We have gotten here because we don't have love for fatherland. And Mr. Leo, we must be able to tell ourselves nothing but the truth. Each time you enthrone a lie, the truth becomes the rebel. Cameroonians are dying every day simply because we want to tell ourselves the truth. Mr. Leo, the government of Cameroon refused to apply the constitution that was given to them, and today we are talking about fast-tracking decentralization. Mr. Leo, I want to say it in all honesty. The government bench of Cameroon has to take responsibility to end this crisis. If the head of state of this country admitted in an international platform that there was an agenda of assimilation, where is the justice to give the people of Southern Cameroon special status? Where is the justice?
country where all things the hard forget, all the school man don't go now for nothing. You get degree, you end now for quarter, open cover so you turn a truck pusher. This country where all things a man no man. You ask work, daddy ask na bribe. If you no give am, you no go get the work. Their mommy, them, their papa, them, all them with them despoil this country so. Now God go pay them, now God go pay them for them go end, now for hellfire.
If you're asking my personal opinion to keep Cameroon one must be divisible. Because it's a cliche that Cameroon is one and indivisible. Because it's not true. Culturally, we are divisible. Language-wise, we are divisible. The law-wise, we have inherited that. So anybody who says Cameroon is one and indivisible is a fallacy. And so we would have to handle that issue very squarely and objectively. And that's what I call the truth. The truth must prevail. There is no doubt that there are people of both sides, that cherish their heritage. And the only way of keeping Cameroon together is to respect the respective heritages that we do have.
Welcome to ACN.
Fellow Ambalanders, friends of justice and human rights defender, and members of the international community. At a time of heightened emotions and deliberate attempts to distract our people, the president of the Ambazonian Governing Council and the leader of the Ambazonian War of Liberation, Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba, has once again provided clarity, leadership, and direction. Following the arrest of the defense chairman of the Ambazonian Defense Forces, Mr. Benedict Kwa, and the logistic chief, Mr. Pascal Kike in Minnesota last Friday, Dr. Cho Ayaba addresses our nation and the world with an unwavering reminder. Our only enemy is Cameroon. Neither America nor Norway nor any other nation stands as an oppressor of our people. Cameroon alone bears that guilt. In this message, Dr. Ayaba not only calls on our people to remain united and focused, but also challenges the international community to live up to its moral responsibility, to hold Cameroon accountable for its atrocities in Ambazonia and to compel it to the negotiation table to end this conflict. Now over to you, Mr. President.
My fellow Ambazonians, on Sunday I was notified of the arrest of the defense chief and the logistics chief. I've so far consulted with the vice president, the DDC, and the SG of the ADF. And I'm glad that I was briefed on the steps they have taken to maintain cohesion on the ground and in the organization. I want to assure every Ambazonian that these things happened historically. Jomo Kenyatta was in jail. Mandela was in jail. All the great patriots who fought for liberation have gone through jail. And we will all somehow end up there. But I want to assure Ambazonians that there will be no disruption on the ground and at the political level. The vice president and his team have all, checked in all the boxes and have mastered all the scenarios. People usually ask me why I have not been very critical towards Norway since being arrested. Listen, when we live and operate in other people's country, and even countries that have become our own, we are not only open to the opportunities that those countries present, but we are open to be subjected to the laws of these countries. Am I angry? No. Neither the US nor Norway has invaded Ambazonia. They have not murdered 30,000 Ambazonians, kidnapped and rendition Ambazonians, or even torture and burned entire villages and homes. The US institutions have been the most supportive, from congressional resolutions, presidential decisions on AGAO, TPS, and even defense criticisms, as was done by General James Mattis. During the tenure of Ambassador Valerie, there were engagements. I spoke with the ambassador. He organized a meeting with Samantha Power and another State Department official. I will never forget when he expressed disappointment directly to me about an attack in Bamenda that knocked down a power line. I was not even aware of the attack. I investigated, reverted back, and assured him that such an action will not happen again. And I think such engagements are very important. Since the appointment of the last ambassador, there has been no engagement. And we looked at every background, and we were definitely very sure there would be a pivot. I have been a social democrat my entire adult life until last week. And I am making this statement to that effect because the Norwegian elections has just ended. We have been the most spineless advocate for values in the last 80 years. We have the most prominent social democrats in power, from Berlin through London to Washington, when Rwanda happened. What I am sure is that the current foreign policy doctrine of the United States is that of engagement. Despite October 7, 2023, it is engaged with Hamas. Despite 7,000 civilians killed in Goma when M23 moved in, the President of the United States has secured an agreement between Rwanda and the DRC. Despite still being on U.S. terrorism list, President Trump met with current Syrian president. The current strategy emanating from the U.S. Embassy in Yaoundé is neither driven by some commitment to human rights or policy. It is driven by politics, and it is inconsistent with current U.S. policy in dealing with conflicts. And that is why it is my position that a speedy change of ambassador in Yaoundé would be for the interest of the resolution of the conflict between Cameroon and Ambazonia. We are aware that Boko Haram has gained strength in the north of Cameroon, Nigeria, and part of Niger, and on other areas. And what the U.S. cannot afford is a distraction in terms of its policy of engagement, where we immerse politics and emotions and sentiments in the conduction of foreign policy. We have also noticed within Ambazonia that in the state of Ndonga, the enabler, Ngala Gerard, has been recruiting our Muslim population in building militias to fight Ambazonia. We keep our eyes close to those kinds of activities at our own peril, because that is how extremist forces would exploit such situations, to extend their reach into this conflict. As I have said, nothing is going to stop the independence of Ambazonia. When we live in foreign countries, we operate at their mercy. If we have to go to jail because they think we violated their laws, we will go to jail. But what we know is that the injection of the judiciary as an arm in the resolution of conflict has not worked historically, will not work now. What we need is the international community that puts pressure on Cameroon to commit to genuine negotiations in the resolution of the conflict. It failed with the Swiss, it failed and abandoned the Canadian process, and it has to be forced to engage. The Ambazonian Governing Council has factored in its manifesto a post-conflict justice system that is going to deal with infraction. I was supposed to address the Ambazonian soldiers this week, All Ambazonian soldiers on the ground in the past 8 years have been committed to the protection of civilians and the upholding of international humanitarian law than any force in the last 80 years. And I can congratulate them, because this is the only force in the past 8 years that has killed about 1/4 of Cameroon forces on the ground, and continue to show determination as they did in Fako in fighting the Cameroon's army. If any foreign government was concerned with human rights, it should have been concerned with Ngabo, the commission of more than 150 massacres in Ambazonia, the burning of more than 1,000 villages, the kidnapping and rendition of Ambazonians, the incarceration and torture of thousands in dispersed prisons across Cameroon. It is not about human rights, it's about politics. Ambazonia has been betrayed for long. We have made a conscious decision that we will defend ourselves. We will fight for the defense of the values of democracy, justice, and against fascism that has prevailed in Cameroon from 1960. I have taken the leadership to engage with all countries, including France, and I have congratulated President Macron for the step taken on raveling the historical genocide that was committed by Aijo and his forces against the UPC. I have engaged with every country, the Canadians, the British. I don't believe in conflict with countries that had historical injustice brought to bear on Ambazonia. I believe in engaging with them in finding a solution to the problems of today. We shall look at history in later days. I don't believe in fighting any country. I believe in engaging with those countries. Our principal enemy is the fascist system that has occupied our country, and we will not be distracted. We can be in jail for the next 100 years. We will speak for our people. We will defend our people. We will fight for our people in establishing a country where everyone, boy, girl, old, young, has an opportunity to live life in dignity, including Cameroonians. And as I have advised the Vice President, it must be a policy of the Ambazonian Governing Council to overthrow the fascist system. And he must work with all Cameroonian active civilian forces in the diaspora and in Cameroon to ensure that we have a neighbor that is democratic, entrenched in the rule of law, and can build an economy that creates opportunity for every citizen in their country. I have asked our people to remain firm, to be committed. People have died in jail since 1997. People are still in jail across different prisons in Yaoundé. The only gift we can give our people dead and in jail is the freedom of our country. And every family affected, every person affected must hold their head high, wherever they may be, because we have conducted ourselves as a reasonable people, as a people who uphold international values. Hold the line for Ambazonia. God bless you all.
Hail this land of glory, we the Ambazonian, special loyalty, presence to our Savior who granted us our freedom, allegiance to the hero who called the lonely gather. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation, flowing with the holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation.